This week, we're going to revisit Autoglass Week 2025 with some of my friends. As always, this show is completely separate from my professional life. Even though this show has some overlap with my professional life, it's completely separate from my professional life. I want to stop in real quick and tell you that there's something cool coming up. Should be releasing it next week. There's going to be a promo code for some tooling companies. Black Friday sales are coming up. So stay tuned for that and enjoy this week's show, revisiting Autoglass Week 2025. Hey everyone, this is James, the Ghost Set Killer, and this is Put 'em on the Glass podcast. We will be talking about Auto Glass Week. We have some experiences we're going to talk about. We have some great guests, so let's tune in right now. Who will be our first guest?
Hi, I'm Sara. I'm from Jack Worstel & Sons Auto Glass in Zanesville, Ohio.
Hi, I'm Chris Kirk, and I'm from Kirkwood Auto Glass in Hebron, Ohio.
Mike Stevens with Sika, and I'm out of Goodyear, Arizona, Phoenix area.
Goodyear. I didn't know you were out of Goodyear. Is that like kind of tie back to the Goodyear plant in Ohio that caught the Cuyahoga River on fire?
Yeah, no, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. After that, no, it has nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just a little bit of Ohio history we have going on here. I have two locals to me. Sara, was it your grandfather's shop or was it your dad?
It's my dad's now, but my great-grandfather started it.
Yeah, that thing has been in our town for like fucking gazillion years. I went there as a little kid. Sara and I had conversations about it, which is cool to have her on the show because it gives that local influence. Chris is less than 20 minutes down the road from me in Hebron. And then Mike decides to go 3 hours from us in Arizona. So this was Sara and Chris. Let's go with Sara first. This was your first time at Autoglass Week. Had you heard about it before? Is it just something new you decided to do?
I've heard about it before, and I always wanted to send my texts. I never really thought about myself going per se. Chris said, "Hey, do you want to go?" kind of last minute, and I said, "All right, let's go." And then I saw the CSR training and certification, so I was like, "Absolutely, we're going. I'm doing the things." So
nice. Chris, same with you. Is this your first time and you'd heard about it before?
Absolutely. So last year I sent my husband and my son, and they went to Orlando. And then this year, originally it was going to be Jeff and I going. And then one day I was like, I think if I went and took Sara, if she would want to go with me, then her and I would be able to bounce things off of each other because we're in kind of the same role. And then, I would have somebody to later on say, hey, what did they say about this? Or do you remember, this experience where the guys, they just do the glass and they don't know the things that we know. And so it was kind of, how can I get someone there that I will remember the things that I need to remember, and then we can help each other out.
That's awesome. I like what you guys got going on. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Mike, was this your second or third time at Autoglass Week?
This was my second. Yes.
Second time at Autoglass Week. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you help a competitor like with setting and like you're the second hand to a competitor?
Yes. I have Justin Boone needed hand setting this year again. So I helped him out with that.
That's awesome. That's a way to be a support system. So day one, Sara and Chris, let's go with Chris since I went with Sara first. Day one, you guys get into town. What did you experience? Did you just go to the hotel room, go to bed? Did you go to the show floor? How did your trip plan out?
So our flight got in at noon, so we couldn't get into our hotel. And so we picked up our car, and then we kind of just drove around a little bit, found some place to eat, found a really cute little thrift place, and just kind of hung out. And then with a 3-hour time difference, that was interesting. And so we were ready to go to bed pretty early. So then we got back to our hotel and got checked in, and then just looked at the list of classes and figured out what we were going to do. Actually, we went and registered. So we got our packet of stuff and our name badges and all of that. And so we had the book to like look at and figure out which classes we definitely wanted to go to, and because that was important to us, all the education. And so we just planned out our day, and then we went to bed early and got up early the next morning.
Sarah, what was the registration process like? Was it super hard? Was it super easy? Were you confused at all? How was that part for you?
No, registration was super easy, and I'm the type that gets frustrated easily and like, oh, I can't do that. No, it was super easy. I think that's the only thing I did. Chris took care of everything else except for I did my own registration, and it was super easy. We went in, we walked into the convention center, showed them our email or our QR code, got our badges, and that in and out, super easy.
Nice. Now, Mike, you had a little bit longer of a setup, didn't you? Because you have to set up the booth and everything. So when did you get into town?
My first day was I ran into you.
Uh-huh.
It was Sunday night,
Sat-
I think, is when that was.
yeah, I got in Saturday.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry,
yours was
Saturday night.
Saturday.
It was such a blur. But yeah, it's Saturday night. I arrived, ran into you at the hotel. So yeah, I didn't look. Well, we have a setup team that does the booth. So, but I was there early for the AGSC and the AGRIS meetings and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that's why I was in town. The AGSC meetings, being the vice chair of the standards committee. So Sarah, what was the first class that you attended, and was it everything that you thought it would be?
Ooh, Chris, what was our first class that we attended?
It was the coffee, the
Oh,
first
yeah.
coffee thing, Tuesday morning. Yeah, and that's where we met all the ladies.
Yeah, so day one, we found a group. We found our people. Day one, we found other CSRs, other people in kind of similar situations, and we kind of clung to them and just kept collecting more people that we still talk to.
So that was Troy Mason's coffee, right? Coffee with Troy Mason. Is that the
I
one that
think
you're
so.
talking about? Yeah, when
Think so.
Troy's very pivotal in our, yeah, he's very influential in our industry. He's done a lot of like amazing things, and what he's doing at Caliber, I respect a lot with his technicians. But so talking about that collaboration, you guys do something very awesome around here that I think's cool. You're competitors, but you also lean on each other as like a little network. Were you able to expand that network during this week? And if so, do you think it's going to benefit your business to where it was worth the trip to just for the networking?
Absolutely. So the women that we met, we exchanged our information, and one of the ladies started a text group. And so we text each other, and it it will be extremely helpful. One of the ladies is very good at like doing the videos and the social media part. And so she has helped us already, just connecting all of those things together and giving us ideas on what to do and post. And of course, the classes were really good for that too. But she's just been extremely helpful. Like, how do I get my logos on the um, website? Where do I get my logos from? For like, PGW, Pilkington, all of those logos that really need to be on the bottom of our website that we're affiliates with. And she sent them to us. She sent us a list of all of the phone numbers for all of the insurance companies. She sent us a list of, what was the other list she had, Sarah? There was another list. Oh, the
No, I think it might have been.
thing. I forget what the other list was. Anyway, and then like somebody asked a question about the networks and how do you do all of that, and so I replied to that, and it's just been, I think it will be going forward very huge. And we're following each other on Facebook, and commenting on those posts, which always pops those up, so other people will see them, and it's just a good collaboration.
So, Sarah, do you feel that you've made the connections for a lifelong growing opportunity? Because you've got, you both have a bunch of history behind you, 20 plus years. Do you think this is going to help you go forward with educating your techs, educating yourself, building that network of reliable people to help you guys grow?
Definitely, definitely. When I first came in, I really didn't know much. And I literally called my local competitors and said, "Hey, I'll pay if you teach me how to do this," or "Hey, I'll pay if you take questions." And it's been phenomenal. Like, I don't know what I would do without that. So a bigger group of women that are actually in my spot and not just, I think that's the most important thing that I got out of AGW this week, or Auto Glass Week. Like, there was a ton of great training, but the networking is huge, and those will probably be lifelong.
Yeah, and I can attest to that because Mr. Stevens and myself, we actually met and became really close friends at Auto Glass Week because of Auto Glass Week. Like, we kind of knew about each other a little bit from the Facebook groups and just from my affiliations in the past. But Mike and I definitely grew that networking with each other because Mike, man, there for a while, I was calling you all the time, like, "Hey, man, how's this work or what's this do?" So, because Mike's been in the industry just as long. When'd you come in? Like 1990?
Oh no, 95. Yeah, 30 years this year. So yeah.
30 years this year. So, did you grow your network, Mike? Has your network expanded because of Auto Glass Week? Because I know you were very popular on the sites, the Facebook pages.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, last year was awesome, and I didn't think, anything could top it, but then this year was just as good. So, you know how it is when you experience something the second time. It's, kind of what direction you want to go and what you want to do, and I was able to do that. And I felt like I was running around a lot more this year though than last year. I thought last year was busy. Man, this year I felt like there were some people that I saw that I wanted to talk to. I had to be like, "Oh, I'll be right back." But
Yeah.
no, it was this is my second year, and yeah, networking is probably the biggest thing I look forward to now, when I'm going to attend more, because it just grows every year, every time.
Yeah, I can attest to that busyness. Like last year, I helped with the demos and I presented the pink jacket at the closing ceremony. And this year, I was trying to do not only organizing and helping with the demos, but I was trying to, MC some stuff. And like also, I had a bigger role with the closing ceremonies. So my week was like crazy. I remember Chris and Sarah was like, "Hey, can you come to dinner?" I was like, "I'm kind of stuck. I can't." So I appreciate the actual, invite, but I was like at a point where I was just like, I was running around like crazy because I had to give 2 talks this year, which I will see what happens with next year in San Antonio if I have to do anything more like that. Now, outside of the event, did you guys attend any of the after parties that was going on, like the 90s party, or there was a couple other like Kaizen, and then I think IGC had one, IGC, Jesus, IGA had one, um, which is really weird, Sarah. Like, I'm sorry not to mean to derail, but this is how my brain works. When you heard IGA the first time, were you thinking about the grocery stores that were in our local area forever?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like the first time I heard that, I was like, "What the fuck's that got to do with auto glass? Like, what the?" But
Well, now, do you know what IGA stands for?
yeah, Independent Glass Association, and then it
No,
was Independent
the grocery
Grocers.
store. Yeah,
Yeah,
Independent
Independent
Grocer
Grocer
Association.
Association. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I get that. Like growing up in this area, we had what 5 or 6 of them. There's one at
and they were
Sunrise.
everywhere.
There's
Yeah.
yeah, they were everywhere. So they kind of went out of business, and like I started hearing about more and more of this IGA thing, and I was like, what the hell's that got to do with auto glass? But then obviously I learned more about it. But Sarah, you go first. Did you attend any of the after parties?
Yeah, so I went to the IGA, not the grocery store party. And yeah, I kept having to say Independent Glass Association, because there's a IGA around the corner from us downtown. Um, but yeah, that was a blast. That was more networking, and I mean, where else can you go and kind of like geek out and fan out about the auto glass industry? Like, not a whole lot of people outside the industry want to talk about auto glass. So
Yes.
it was fun. It was a fun party that we could, network some more and have some fun.
Yeah, I think all of us sat down at the IGA party for a little bit at the same
Mm-hmm.
table and got to conversate.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
where we met
basically,
Mike.
yes. So
Yes.
basically, Chris, you probably didn't do anything without Sara on the after parties. But Mike, did you do any of the other after parties?
Yeah, that Tuesday night was the AGSC 90s party.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stay late at the competition, so showed up I look like this at the 90s
Mm-hmm.
party. So maybe this is what I used to dress in the 90s. I doubt it, but um so I hit that and then ran to the hotel room, changed, shot over to the IGA party where I met Sara and Khris, which was awesome. Um Stayed there for a little bit, and then the next night, then I did go to the Kaizen party. I was late to that as well too, because I had some stuff to handle at the competition, and also had a dinner with a customer after that. So, yeah, it was a busy couple of days there.
Yeah, I went to the 90s party and cuz I dressed up for it and I was looking forward to it anyways cuz that was
No.
like one of my big things. So I dressed up for it. Me and then obviously Glenn Fell went completely nuts on that. But then my feet were hurting really bad. So I was like, you know what? I'm going up to the room and I'm done. Like usually on those, like come 9 o'clock, I'm usually out asleep anyways. So like those parties and everything go a little bit long. But I was going up to the Hope room and that's where Mike and I was on the elevator together. He's like, man, I'm gonna go to the IGA party. And I'm like, God damn it. I told him I was gonna come. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go. My feet hurt, my back hurt. I was being a little bitch. And I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. And then I get upstairs and I'm like, man, I told all these people that I'd make an appearance. So I got in the shower real quick, changed my clothes, and then, put them on a glass bowling shirt on, shot down there for a little bit. Then the what was it? The next night was the Kaizen party. Was that
Yes.
Kaizen's party? And I was there maybe. I felt bad for Shauna because like nobody would get on the dance floor with me. So I was out there dancing by myself for a little bit and I was like, this is kind of, man, no one's going to dance. So I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to bounce. And I was out before you were there, Mike. And
Yeah,
then,
I was actually really surprised to see you there, man. Because
yeah,
you not look, but I could tell you were done. And then when I saw you there, I was like, whoa, what the heck? You made it right on.
yeah, like my brain was like mentally just shut down. So those after parties could have been a lot more like me, like my personality, but I was just at those points I was shut off. That's why like I got a little break between the competitions, announcing the competitions and the uh awards banquet. Did anybody else go to the awards banquet?
I could not
No.
make it. I
Okay.
couldn't make it. Yeah.
Okay. So I had to help Sara with the awards banquet, being on stage and everything. So I went back to the hotel room, caught a quick nap so I could bring the energy, like kind of thing, which I did. I did kitty. I did the best I could with that. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show, but that was my after party experiences. So was your CSR certifications that you guys were looking for, was that class what you thought it was going to be?
I think so. Yeah. There was one that was kind of a little odd. I don't remember which one it was. But the rest of them, I kind of wish I would have stayed. What was really helpful for me was Jacques, uh, the what do you call it?
ADAS?
Recalibration,
The
the
ADAS, yeah.
ADAS class was extremely helpful for me. And so then I was torn. I was like, and those were the only ones that really conflicted. The rest of the days, the classes you didn't have to choose, you know. Like we didn't get to be on the floor as much, I think, as I really would have liked to, um, but yeah. So that day conflicted the last day, and I was like, learned so much in that. I sat next to a guy named Hector Cruz
Yeah,
from
Hector.
Tony's.
Yeah.
Tony's
Yeah.
Auto Glass out of
Yeah,
Tucson.
Hector.
He's one of my customers.
he was
Yeah.
awesome. He really helped me to understand because like they would be talking about something, I'd be like, "What? What does that mean?" And so then he would say, "Okay," and he would explain it to me. And so he was extremely helpful for me. I got his card, um, but yeah, he gave me the idea that I need to go and ride with my husband and son and see what they really do all day, and that will be helpful to do that. Um, but yeah, I really wanted to finish that out, but I was like, I don't want to miss the CSR stuff because that's what I was really there for. And so Sara went cut out when the one CSR class started, and she went to that one, and then I cut out for the other one. And that one was okay. I probably could have skipped that. I mean, like, I've been in customer service my whole life. I know how to be kind to people on the phone. That's not an issue for me.
Yeah.
But it's more, I needed more of the technical side of auto glass.
Okay.
So
What about you, Sarah? What was your thoughts on those classes, or, what you got out of it? Did you get what you wanted out of it?
So I did, and probably a lot more. Smiley's stuff was great. It was more than just how to be nice to customer. I liked how she gave some examples on how to go above and beyond. Just like, nobody calls us like, be like a new windshield. Somebody's calling us because something bad's happened, because somebody's broken into their car, and they're usually freaking out. Not always, but like a lot of times they're like, oh my gosh, my car just got broken into. I need a new door glass. And um, I think she had credit card like phone numbers. And I thought, oh, that's genius. But like, that's just
yeah.
one way to give your customers, to calm them down and to take that extra step. Like, this is our business. This is what happens. These are the things that our customers need. That's not auto glass, but that's something that, going that extra mile, no matter what it is, really matters. And I thought that was important. I didn't really think about things like that.
Okay.
And the CSR training, I think there was a lot more technical stuff that I wasn't expecting. We watched a lot of crash tests, a lot of crash tests that were important and informative, but definitely not what I expected.
Yeah, there's some definitely good information out there. And Jacques' course, obviously, Jacques is an auto glass nerd like myself and Mike. We like to dive deep into the actual workings of things. And so anything you take with Jacques is great. The CSR course I heard was great. The only thing, I'm going to get your opinions on this. Mike, you might not have an opinion on this, but the only thing that I would like to see changed is what Khris was talking about, that overlap. Because I feel that if you're coming out there to get training and you're the only one from your shop, you should probably get as much training as you can. And I get that those two add on, the CSR and the ADAS certifications, because they also had urethane certifications going on too throughout the different days with the demos and everything. So like, I feel the overlap and you guys weren't really able to take advantage of both courses. I think that might have, for next year, do you think that they should look into maybe doing something where you can take every course to make it worth more of your money?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because I know that those
That
are the
was
type of
and I
opinions
put that in my thing, that
in your
was
survey.
the only downfall, was that overlap on the last day. That it was great that we were able to do all the classes we wanted to do on the first 2 days, but then that last day was the overlap.
And Mike, you can speak to this. I like the fact that this year, not only could you walk away with those certifications, but you could walk away with every single urethane manufacturer certification. So that way, why I think that's important, and Mike, agree with me, disagree with me, that'd be cool either way. But if you go to a warehouse and they're out of Sika, they're out of DuPont, they're out of Dynatrol, they're out of SRP, which you normally use, you're certified in all of them. Your technician can be confident taking that off of the shelf, something they've never used, and with just a little bit of technical ability, with the know-how of the certification, they can use the product safely. So what was your experience like doing the certification class, Mike?
So during that time, we had something else going on at the same time. So Mark O'Brien was doing it, but I was able to break away and check it out. We were this was actually the unveiling of our brand new Sika Academy, which is online, and it's going to be global too. This was introductory into the US market for it, but um I know we have some fine tuning to do on it, but I think it was great. Just like you said, if you're able to, at least maybe if you took the course and you can't recall, certain processes, you now have a contact, or maybe you kept the manual, or you connected with somebody there who you could reach out to and say, hey, how was the process on this particular product again? So again, the networking part is so big to where you're meeting other people doing the same thing you are. And it was a great turnout. It was a full class. And Mark said it was a little bit of a challenge because it was so new, and this is something that we have to get used to as well. But he said he got a good response from it and good feedback. So I think it's a great idea. In fact, the ideas that it was Corey and myself in the marketing meeting where we kind of decided to bring this to the AGW. So that way you're leaving with something, and it's something that we're passionate about and we want to give to these customers. We do it every day. At least once a week, we're certifying more customers, new shops. So to be able to do it all in one place and kind of just get it at a group session, it was great.
And what you said there was very important. And Sarah and Khris, you guys can probably attest to this. If your technician doesn't have the training in a certain manufacturer, you guys have now made the contact at these shows to where if they have a technical question about flash times, about, a certain product, MDAT or anything like that, you guys now have the resource to reach out to those like a Mike, like a Cody Allen, Dave Saffron, Jeff. What the hell's Jeff's last name for Dynatrol, for Dynol? God, he's going to kick me right in the balls when he sees me because I can't remember his last name. Oh, my goodness. Anyways.
DeLuca? Are you talking about DeLuca?
DeLuca. There it is. DeLuca. Yes. Anyways, so if you have those contacts for where if your technician's like, hey, how long do I have to wait for this primer to flash? And so Sarah's like, hold on a second. Or Khris is like, hold on a second. Let me call such and such. So I actually love the idea of all the certifications this year. Were either you able to sit in on any of the urethane certifications, Sarah or Khris?
No, go ahead.
We did miss the urethane certifications. I did sit on one. Dow came out and did a certification recently. We have a new kid. And so I sat in on part of one of those. But I think we were so busy with classes and walking around, we didn't see a single urethane demo at all or see any of those certifications.
Yeah, that's it. The classes. Oh, sorry.
No, good.
So the classes were amazing, and I was very thankful to have all those. But then I felt like we didn't have enough time to go to the floor and do anything out on the floor, even though it was like it opened at 1 when most of the classes were over. It seemed like, okay, and especially with our 3-hour time difference, it was like, we haven't eaten yet. We need to go get food.
Yeah.
And then by that time we were like, okay, we're done. And so it was just a little difficult in that respect. And so
Yeah.
we didn't really, we kind of walked the floor, but we just saw the vendors we needed to see. And that was kind of it. We didn't spend a lot of time on the floor. And I guess I didn't even realize that those were going on the floor.
So was that drop in communication? Was it not advertised well enough? Would you say that they're basically, what would you improve for that communication? Like, because there was an app, but I don't know how well it worked because I wasn't on it. So like it seems like there's like a lot going on. And was there enough information for you to get to these things, or was it just, would you like to see that improved?
I'm not even sure. What do you think, Sarah? I guess I just didn't pay that much attention to the vendor floor because in my experience, and I don't mean this to sound, please don't take offense there, Mike. It's just the vendors. I guess I didn't realize that they were doing certifications. I saw the demo, like we saw your demo, that you were emceeing there, James. But I guess I didn't realize that there was more there than just vendors and the competition.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe
Well,
it was a communication thing. Or I just didn't look closely enough. I don't know.
okay.
No, you bring up a good point. Like I said, I'm on the marketing committee for the AGSC. So, signage or maybe some sort of communication, something better to let customers know, let people know that, hey, we're doing something like this over here is great. So thank you for that. I'm writing some of these tips down because this is important. We want people to be able to get every experience out of it. And That being new too, that the whole Sika, or I'm sorry, the adhesive certification is new. So this is something that we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to try it. And the overlap too. That's a big deal. So
Yeah, the one
And also, like for me, being my first time there, and even though I've done the financials for our business for 25 years, I'm really kind of new to this position, and needed information, but didn't realize I needed that information. Does that make sense?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So thank you for, standing around for my demo. The one thing that I would, Mike, if you want to write this down, the signage thing's a great because of the demo area was hard for people to find. Last year it was
Yes.
right beside, as soon as you kind of walked into the thing. So we had crowds last year of 200 and 300 people at the demos, because everybody was gathering around and it brought them from and this year I don't think the house PA system was very good. I'm not gonna lie to you because you could not hear, and when they got on the mic, it sounded like so it was like that. That was kind of hard. Like maybe a better make sure there's a better PA system to be heard. Um, and then I like the sign idea thing because, like, yeah, if you look at the map, you can kind of figure it out, but sign to the demo area. And then where we were given our talks, that learning lab session that we were given our talks at, that was nice and visible so people could get to it real easily. But the demo area was super hard to find. I had to try to tell people how to get there. And like, I think a couple of the classes, I think like Panther Pro's class that they did with their setting tool kind of suffered a little bit because they didn't have anybody. I don't think they had anybody even show up because I don't think that anybody knew it was going on.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know, Mike. Write that down.
Oh yeah, I got it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Well, I don't have a pen. We'll remember it then. Oh, Van Wilder. Anybody remember that movie? Such a great movie. But for me, the competitions are where it's at because that's where I started. That's how I got into the Auto Glass Week. And just from a technician, that's where I love it. I love that whole part of it. I was immersed in the competitions again this year, which was so awesome, being my 6th year and just knowing the competitors. And we become so close as a family that, even though you're competing against them, you're cheering for them and you're pulling for them and everything. So Sara and Khris, do you guys have plans on going back to San Antonio? And if so, are you taking technicians?
Haven't even thought about it yet. The, the like I said, the hard part is that time difference. That I have never experienced that like that before. And so that was difficult for this old lady getting out there and adjusting that quickly. And then by the time you get to the end of the week, you're like, okay, I think I'm finally adjusted a little bit. I'm not waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning ready to go. And, and it's like, oh, we're done. It's time to go home. But yeah, so that was a little bit of an adjustment, but it was good. And I think I would like to go back, and I would like for the guys to go again too. And it would depend also if we hire someone else, which we're slated to do here really soon. Then yeah, exactly. Our business has exploded, and
Good.
yeah, so
That's a great
we would
thing. And
probably need them to get some training.
I think San Antonio is only an hour ahead of us too, by the way, because I went to San Antonio and competed one year, and I think it's only an hour time difference. So I don't think it's that much. What about you, Sara? You guys plan on potentially going back?
Yeah, so my plan for the future is that every year at least one of us goes. We're a small shop, so I can't really take my whole team. I mean, I could, but I would like to at least send one of my techs out every year. And if nobody wants to go, I guess I'll just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can experience more and more things because hopefully with the schedule getting better and more offerings to the floor, like the certifications, I think I'd like to see them offer all their certifications, masters, technician, which they have for the technician, the repair, but like a master's course. But this is all just daydreaming. Mike, you're coming back, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'd hope to have a just as big a role this year as I did, or the upcoming year as I did this year. So I'm sure I'll be back there. We'll see if the Auto Glass Week has me back. If not, I'm coming as a just attendee. So we'll see how that goes. Is there
Oh,
anything
come on,
else you would?
James. You're a celebrity.
I don't know. No, absolutely not.
You are.
Absolutely,
Everybody
absolutely
looks for
not.
you in your suit.
Well, the suit may be one of those things that just kind of took its own life form because it's just something I like to do. I like to dress snazzy. I mean, shoot, it even just because you're a technician doesn't mean you can't dress fly. I mean, shit.
Yeah, that's right. So speaking of that, we got to give a shout out to Paige.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Paige.
Hi, Paige.
Hi, Paige. What are we talking about?
Do you remember the lady that we took our picture with?
Yes.
That's Paige.
That's
Her and
Paige.
her
Yes, her and her
watch.
husband. Yes. Thank you so much for bringing that back up, and thank you guys for watching. It was such an honor to meet you. It's still so weird to me that I meet people say, "Hell, I listen to your show or I listen every week," and it's like, really? Like I honestly, I see some views and stuff like that because I like to post and ghost. Because if I start really looking for those views, I'm starting to obsess. I'm like, why isn't anybody watching my stuff? Kind of thing. And I don't want to be that person. And it's just odd to me that people even listen to this show because it started from Mike. You remember where it started from? Me and a laptop just talking, and then
Yeah.
it grew to because you were on what episode 4 or 5, and then again at episode like 30 or something. You've been on what 4 times? Is this your 5th time on?
I think this might be my 4th time on.
Your
I
4th time on?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, because Mike went from being an employee to a subcontractor to owning his own business as employing a bunch of techs, and now he's a urethane rep. So like he's kind of went full circle. So I really love having Mike on to bring that experience to the listeners. So hi Paige, thank you for listening. So any other experiences that happened cool during Auto Glass Week you guys want to share?
Mm, I don't know. No, probably
Okay.
just I enjoyed the meetings. I mean, it sounds weird saying that, but every time I go into these meetings, I'm meeting more people, and taking more home with me, and then just giving too, man. Like giving my time to the industry. I did a post on my 30-year day, which was actually like 2 weeks ago or something, basically saying the same thing. Is just that like everything that this industry has given me, I just want to give back. And that's why I try to help out as much as I can. And I was going to say real quick too, for those certifications, I really encourage, CSRs, owners, salespeople, anyone involved, because you are sometimes the face or the phone for the customer, and the knowledge that you have and be able to give to these customers is huge, because you don't know who's on the other end. You don't know if it's a, FJ Cruiser guy or a Jeep guy who does his own research before he's calling, a CSR or calling a shop. So, and this customer could be getting all kinds of input from others outside of the industry, but as soon as they speak to someone over the phone who knows exactly what they're saying, knows about MDAT times, knows about rollover testing, FMVSS. You throw all these facts at them, they're not going to know. They're going to be overwhelmed and say, "You know what? I'm going with you. You explained so many things. I don't even know what you're talking about, but it sounds like you know what you're doing." So, I mean, I really encourage for people who have been thinking about going to Auto Glass Week and maybe haven't pulled the trigger, I would say at least give it a shot to see all the education part at least. And then the bonus will be the floor and the goodies and the information and the people and the networking. I mean, it's really a valuable thing that you can't really put a price on. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, because I understand that these companies are taking time away. They're losing opportunity. They're shutting down their business, some of them, so there's a lot of more than just the cost of the show and the flight and the time and all that. So I do understand that, and I know it's very difficult. But if at least you can experience it one time or have your technicians do it, I think it's really, really valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I wish every CSR, and I've never worked at a company that had a CSR ride with the tech, and I kind of wish they would, because of that conversation that you have sometimes when it's like my back's against the wall, I've got this much to cover. They're trying to provide great customer service, so there's that conflict of information drop, kind of thing. And I think that if you were, and I also think a technician should sit with a CSR for a day. and just see what it takes, because they think, I've done that multiple times because I filled in as a CSR and different things, was like, you just notice it's completely different. Like what the CSRs do, Mike said it best, you are the face of the company and your job sucks. Sorry, your job sucks. Like Sara said, people are calling you at their worst times. They're not in a great mood. Even if they're in somewhat of a little bit of good mood, they're not wanting to spend the money that they're going to have to spend. You have to be able to take that person and turn them into a faithful, believing customer in your business. So what you guys do is not easy. So I say every technician should sit in. That way, when they're on the road and they're like, man, they don't know how to schedule. Oh, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, like in the office. And it's like, no, hold your horses. You don't have any idea what weight is on their shoulders and what they're trying to do. So
Yeah.
that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, great advice from Hector. He is such a great guy too,
He's
man.
fucking awesome.
He's very knowledgeable, and I love talking to him. In fact, I just saw him last week. He's one of my customers, or a potential customer. I'm trying to get him on board, but super solid guy. And I knew him before I was even in this position. We were friends when I was a technician, and he's good guy, and has, like I said, a lot of information. And he's one of the guys who I knew who were the first to get into the ADAS and start exploring there. And so he's really, really knowledgeable on that side.
Yeah.
I talked him into coming down to the meetings, the standards meeting this year, because I think his voice is important and his knowledge is really important to the industry. I mean, he's probably going to kick me in the drawers when he sees me, but shout out to Hector Cruz, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Hector
dude.
Cruz. Yeah. Hector Cruz is one of the best people you ever meet in your entire life. If you get the privilege to meet him, please do. Him and I have had quite a few conversations, and I was so happy to see him at the meetings and just talk to him this week. So, but any other stories or anything? Because we're getting to the 41-minute mark. Anything, Sara or Khris, you want to say?
I just think it's really important. So, like, Jeff has done auto glass for almost 35 years now, and had never been to Auto Glass Week until last year when he went. And and especially this year since I went, I really think it's important. And, it was always the excuse, oh, I don't have time. I can't close for a week and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you know what? The information that you get there and the connections that you make is huge. And not just especially for me, but for everyone. I think it's really important. And like you said, I didn't know Hector. We knew he needed to sit in the back so we could scoot out for the CSR thing. And he just happened to be sitting right there. And I just leaned over and said, what are they talking about? And then he was just such a wealth of information. And that's, if we're going to be independents, which makes us one or two or however many little shops we have, but when we're all together, we're bigger. We're huge. We're bigger than any big glass company out there. And if we look at it that way, then we're unstoppable. And I'm extremely thankful for IGA. They have been really great for our company. The little videos they make us, and that just gives us that little step ahead, that we can actually compete with those big guys. And their customer service reps got nothing on us.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't. They don't.
They're a computer, or and I ran into a customer that we know yesterday. They don't even have the right kind of insurance because they bought their insurance online. And yeah, and she has a $10,000 deductible on her comprehensive insurance on a
That was a
brand new
thing.
25 Toyota Tacoma. If I hadn't called on their behalf, they'd have never known that. And so we're getting their insurance fixed.
That's awesome.
So it's things like that. But if you don't do those things, then you're just like them. And we're not just like them. We're better. All of us.
Yes. Sarah, anything in closing?
If you're on the fence about going to Auto Glass Week, go. It's worth it. Absolutely go every year, any chance you get. It was all of the classes. I love the roundtable talks. I love the networking. I love the camaraderie. Like again, nobody likes to sit out and talk about auto glass. So it was nice to have a whole week of just all the cool things and seeing the new things coming out and being able to talk to the reps and ask the questions and get all the contacts, and it was definitely worth it. Worth it 100 over. It was awesome.
You, Mike, any closing?
Just I'm happy to meet Sarah and Chris. That was awesome to meet you guys at the IGA party, and many people like that. Just putting faces to names of people I see online or have spoken to, and not even in my area. These are customers that are across the country. So just I think my biggest takeaway is the networking part. Yeah, everything else is almost up there with it, but overall, I think the greatest thing is meeting people and getting to know people better. And every year, if they're there again, seeing them again, even if it's just one time a year, at least we get to greet each other, hang out for a little bit, maybe have a cocktail, and then move along. But yeah, it's definitely worth the experience. I'm bummed that it's only been my second one. There was 2 other times I was potentially going to go, but some last minute things happened and I couldn't make it. So as a technician, I wish I could have experienced it, because I think there would have been so much to take away in seeing now what there is to offer, you know?
Yeah, I will echo everything that they've said. This industry has given me everything that I have. I came out of making baskets for 5 years and then needed something and found a local shop and it was Cambridge, so, but it was kind of local. And then I got into this industry. And what changed for me the most was, that aha moment of I got to quit fucking people's cars up. And that's what made me start caring. And then I started researching, and then started talking to more and more people and getting my certifications, and then getting my my AGSC certifications and becoming master certified, and just going down that whole route, and then starting to go to Auto Glass Week. And, my whole goal with everything is like Mike's to give back, but I want us to be a respected industry. I want us to be seen as professionals, because before, and still to this day, you're what is it, in the back of car washes, and you are a parts changer. And we're not. We're technicians. Starting from our CSR all the way up to the owners, we're technicians, because we handle the techno aspects of this industry. And that's my whole goal now, is to change the industry to where we respect ourselves, because once we respect ourselves, the public will respect us. And it starts with this Auto Glass Week, with the knowledge that you gain. How
Mhm.
many technicians or CSRs that out there know about 216A? And let's be completely honest, and know that your car doesn't actually pass a rollover test until that urethane is fully cured. I mean, I've talked to technicians on top of technicians. Oh, that stuff don't matter. That stuff don't matter. And it does, to the safety. And if you care about 216A, you're going to care about how that customer's vehicle leaves your shop. So you've now gained a customer for life, because they're leaving with clean windows. They're leaving with vacuum out. They're seeing you protect their vehicle. They're seeing you use the latest tools. They're seeing you apply the latest, greatest urethanes. So my advice, obviously, you guys have listened to this show enough to know that, yes, go to Auto Glass Week. And before Auto Glass Week, start reaching out to your local vendors, as far as your PGWs, your Pilkingtons, your IGCs, your Migrants, because they will hold periodic customer appreciation events, which they'll have a little bit of education in there. They'll also hold certifications for urethanes, to where you can get in there, or you can learn who your local reps are to get the urethane reps out to you, because they will come out to you and it doesn't cost you anything. They will come out to you and certify you. They have reps in all the areas. Attending all those little things, start digging in. And if you arm yourself with information, you're never worse. You'll never be worse. So I want to thank you guys for coming on and talking about Auto Glass Week. I want to thank everybody who came up to me and said hi. And with that, I'm James. That's Sarah. That's Chris. That's Mike. We are the gang that went to Auto Glass Week and enjoyed ourselves. So thank you so much. Hang on, guys. Do not jump off yet.